Yeah, hi already, folks, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give my 2 cents about this unfortunate issue, especially since, for those who don't know, I am actually a independent wrestler now. Well, not really independent. Well, kind of. I don't know. I'm a pro wrestler in training. For those who don't know, I actually do want to make a video about, my sort of journey so far as a pro wrestler in the industry right now, independently. I'm already in wrestling school, but I do want to talk about my 2 cents about this unfortunate incident that happened in the independent wrestling scene. So, Roger Jackson, who, aka Rampage Jackson, um, his son, who's basically my age, 25 years old. I'm about to turn 26 next week, by the way. But literally, a guy like my age, he's also an MMA fighter himself. He's an MMA fighter, following his father's footsteps. Just 25 years young. I don't know, either he got invited, but all I know is that he was at a wrestling show, which was, by the way, Rikishi, a wrestling school that Rikishi is affiliated with, called Knokx Knokx X Knokx Pro Wrestling, right? Knokx X Pro Wrestling, I believe. He got invited to the wrestling show, or he, I guess, wanted to go. I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know that part. What I do know is that, unfortunately, this is what happened, right? Uh, Roger Jackson has a quick page or a kick page. He has a page where he streams. He's just like a lot of these, young streamers. A lot of people who got lucky, by the system to stream their life, and they can get famous for it or whatever. Okay, they vlog. They obviously go on with their daily lives. They do, vlogs and shit. They go out in their day, just stream, and they get a lot of views for it, and they're able to get paid for it. That's their little hustle. That's how they get paid now, right? And whatever, good for you. Do that, okay? If you can do it, use the system with you, whatever, fine. Roger Jackson went to the Knokx X Pro Wrestling show that happened, I believe, Saturday. And at first, he had a little confrontation with one of the wrestlers. So, okay, this is where I'm gonna. Okay, a lot of people are blaming solely Roger Jackson, and obviously he is completely at fault for what he did. Okay, Roger Jackson is definitely not innocent for what happened, right? But this is where I have to, unfortunately, do have to put the little fault in not only, unfortunately, the victim, but I have to put the fault on everyone. Okay, this is where everyone is at fault. At first, you see this unfortunate wrestler. I think he's known as some killer something. Which, again, why do every wrestler nowadays name themselves as killer or whatever? But the unfortunate victim, right? He used a can, a drink can, whatever, beer, whatever, and used it on Roger Jackson. This obviously pissed off Roger Jackson. Okay, it pissed him off. But then he thankfully, the wrestler who unfortunately is the victim in this situation, did apologize. All right, he did apologize. Uh, it was shown in the video that that he apologized. All right. Okay, my apologies. The wrestler's name was Syko Stu. I don't know why he had. I don't know why do all these wrestlers, and especially in the indies, want to have like these weird, like scary names, right? Even though they're not scary, but whatever. Um, but yeah, the wrestler name was Syko Stu. Syko Stu, by the way, is a former. He is also a former. Uh, Deployed. He is a former U.S. vet. Which, thank you for your service, Mr. Syko Stu. Um, yeah, his real name is Stuart Smith, right? He unfortunately did the typical wrestling, like, trying to, like, oh, you're not gonna sell for me type of thing. That, listen, that he should not have done that. All right, he should not have done that because apparently he thought that because the cameras were rolling, and thought he was a worker. That's what. But again, like, this is the problem where, like, this is where it's at fault. Everyone is at fault. I think everyone is at fault for this situation, by the way. But obviously, Roger Jackson is clearly in the wrong. Okay. And you know what? Him also kind of going to, like, doing the crime, right? Because he was. I'm gonna get to what I have to say. Who's at fault and blah blah blah, right? But again, I do have to say that if only Syko Stu did not do what he did, he will still be fine till this day, and this would not be such a big issue. But again, I am not blaming solely Syko Stu. Syko Stu, if anything, is more innocent. But again, if he did not, kind of poke the jaw, right? If he did not do what he did, he would be fine. So unfortunately, and I'm not trying to insult Syko Stu, but again, that's unfortunately his fault. And this is unfortunately a lot of fault of a lot of these wrestlers who do these things. A lot of wrestlers who are in the industry, this is what happens. This is what unfortunately happens when you're in the industry. And a lot of these wrestlers in the indies, they want to act like this is real or act like tough guys. This is what happens. This is the fucking problem with this fucking industry. We do see that, a lot of some of the Samoans, used to this Samoan right there, who sitting down. He may be related to Rikishi and them, or the Samoan family, whatever. But again, it is, after all, a Samoan run promotion, right? We do see that cowboy over there. You see that cowboy right there smiling? He confronted Roger Jackson. And if anything, I want to insult that guy. And I think he's completely at fault for doing what he did. He gave Roger Jackson the idea to go in and give this poor guy, Syko Stu, the confirmation. He gave him basically, hey, you got to give him a receipt. You got to give him a receipt. And again, for all those know that a receipt in the wrestling terms is, you give him basically, something that's coming for him. You give him a little revenge. Just a little revenge. And a receipt is basically like a one punch usually. If you see, like, a good example of a receipt is Brock Lesnar punching Braun Strowman after he got intentionally hurt by accident by Braun Strowman to Rumble, right? And then Brock said, easy. And Brock Lesnar could kick the shit out of anybody. But he was easy himself on Braun Strowman. Okay? What this poor man, Syko Stu, had to endure was absolutely insane. But the problem is, and this is the problem. And shout out to Dirt Sheet Radio, by the way. Roger Jackson had the audacity to, like, he was filming on Kick, right? Kick is the streaming site that he's filming at, and he gets paid for it. He was asking his followers what he should do. That's like saying a fucking criminal should ask, like, yo, should I freaking rob this person and give him a gunshot? Do you not know how stupid that is? He was literally planning to actually fucking... So this is where Roger Jackson deserves all the blame, too. But it doesn't help that these wrestlers, that guy, that cowboy guy that was there, he's at fault, too. Okay? And I honestly think that this entire promotion is at fault for having this guy there for no reason. Like, what's the reason for it? It's not like he was booked for the fucking show. So this thing that happened on the show, by the way, was not scripted. It was not scripted at all. It was not scripted for him to be there and to appear as a freaking scene, okay? Or, as we say, a segment. He was not asked to be on the show. But for some reason, because indie promotions want to have somebody to watch, I was like, okay, this guy's here, even though it's not Rampage Jackson himself. Like, this fucking asshole, Roger Jackson. But he, this is the excuse that his own father's gonna use, and we're gonna freaking talk about Rampage. Unfortunately, Roger Jackson went to business for himself, right? And literally, go in the ring. He hopped over the ring. No security, by the way. Where the fuck was security? Right? They have securities work for these promotions. They had security there. But whatever. They're dumb. This is everybody's fault. Roger Jackson hops in the ring. He does a freaking big slam. A big double leg takedown to Syko Stu. Right? Or Sickle Stu. Mr. Stu himself. And literally, like, he was already, like, somewhat knocked out. He eventually, legit, pounced the fucking shit out of Sickle Stu. To the point that he could have died. Like, nearly 23 punches. And it took, like, fucking 23 punches for then the fucking people to stop and get in. Even the referees and what. Listen, I understand sometimes, it could be selling, right? The referee wouldn't know. But then eventually, it has to come to the point that the guy is fucking knocked out. Like, the referee couldn't even see it. The wrestlers themselves. The wrestlers are fucking there. They know that what's part of the script and what's not. They should have had fucking got involved. The wrestlers themselves would have known. This was not, like, hello, y'all trained of what's part of the script, what's not. And y'all did not step in. This is where I blame everybody, man. I blame that fucking cowboy guy for freaking, giving the idea. But again, it's Roger Jackson's fault because he literally did this. He did this just for views. He did this for views. This sick fuck. Thinking that this is going to generate views and subs and shit like that. Whatever the kick is. Basically, what are the modern YouTube shit that they all want to fucking act like this? This is how you get famous and make money now. Well, how does that work out now? Because like Roger Jackson, for fuck's sakes, how did that work out now? Because now you lost your fucking channel because Kick terminated his channel. And honestly, rightfully so. All for fucking views. This guy was literally fucking planning to attempt murder. So what a fucking dumb piece of shit. And you had Rampage Jackson. Apparently was on streaming himself. Rampage Jackson. He made a tweet. Talking about how his son also, he had a concussion. He was not mentally well. If you know your son was not mentally well, by the way, why the fuck are you standing by your son? Why the hell did, I don't know, as a father, tell your son, hey, not to go do these things? Or, I don't know, why the hell? The sad thing is, Rampage Jackson, apparently he has a streaming site too. He also was streaming as well. I'm not sure if it was Kick. He filmed his fucking reaction, and he's like, oh yeah, he's going to jail. Hello? You're the father? Why aren't you acting like a fucking father? Like, holy shit. If memory serves me right, my fucking parents would beat the piss out of me and be looking for me. They would probably even fucking, try to kick the shit out of me for committing a fucking crime. What the hell? Rampage Jackson is supposed to be a father. And this goes to show that, unfortunately, Rampage did not set an example to his own son. And that's unfortunately a lot of celebrities. They want to be friendly and shit with their sons and whatever, be cool. This is a parent issue. That even Rampage, unfortunately, was not acting like a father. He was like, he was on the stream. It's like, oh man, like, yeah, he's going to jail. Like, why aren't you, like, looking for your son? Why aren't you contacting your fucking son and actually being serious? Like, he apparently is showing, like, Roger was like, man, I beat that man, I beat that shit guy, man, he was kind of kung fu him, shit. But then, got on a phone call, streaming and shit, and it's like, yo, you shouldn't have done that, bro. He in the hospital, man. Like, why are you cool talking your son? Why aren't you fucking serious to the point that you're want to punish him? I understand, like, he's 25. He's like, you're already an adult. He does not gonna be punished. But, like, I don't fucking care. Like, you're the fucking father. Even no matter what, how old your kid is, you're gonna fucking want to punish them and be like, talk some sense to them, right? Like, Rampage Jackson Obviously one of the biggest MMA stars, clearly not the best fucking fodder. Like, that's the sad reality. This all goes back to, like, how, you're supposed to be raised properly. And Rampage Jackson had the audacity to, like, not only stream his reaction. Basically, this all felt like this entire thing was unfortunately just for views and subs. And look where this got. Now, an investigation going on. WWE, by the way, WWE has dropped Knokx Pro from their WID school list. So that school was part of the ID program. And now it's gone. Now they lost. Now Rikishi is definitely pissed. He has more things to be pissed about. Like, this entire incident costed this wrestling school to lose their opportunity, and all the wrestlers there the opportunity to become wrestlers for the WWE. This costed a guy nearly his life. It's also costed. Look, this Syko Stu guy is severely injured for an attempted murder, and now this could cost this Roger Jackson his actual life, where he has to go to jail. But he had a concussion. He's not mentally well. Last time I remember when I had a concussion, I was home resting. For God's sakes. If he's not, and apparently he's not mentally well. If he's not mentally well, if a guy's not mentally well, why the fuck he's there? Why the fuck is he there? I blame the entire promotion. Knokx Pro had no reason to have this happen. Like, Knokx Pro, the event deserved its fault. That cowboy guy deserved his fault. Syko Stu, this is strange, man. Like, listen, at least he apologized, right? You gotta be bygones. Last time I remember when I was in wrestling practice, I got chopped unnecessarily. But guess what? That's how wrestlers do it, But again, at least, like, the guy, like, yo, man, it's cool. Yo, you be cool, right? We're just practicing. That's how like wrestling is. We all like poke fun at each other because it's all part of the love of the game. A nice little gentle wrestling chop is not gonna really kill people. And by shout out to that guy. The guy actually appeared on Raw one time. He was at part of security, so shout out to him. But, like, man, this is sad, bro. Like, this is actually fucking sad. Where Syko Stu, unfortunately, did have a little fault for him, but he apologized. He's more innocent, but he shouldn't have done what he did. But again, it's a little complicated with him. But he did not deserve legit attempted murder. Obviously, the big fault goes to Roger Jackson because he had a choice. The guy had a choice. A lot of people also, the sad reality, and they want to bring grace to this. Oh, he had it coming, bruh. He had it coming. He shouldn't have done it in the first place. Like, okay, there's some truth to that. But at the end of the day, the guy apologized, and you have to understand, this is fucking pro wrestling. Obviously, the entire wrestling world, this is the sad thing about pro wrestling, where unfortunately you have people like Psycho Stu, right? Or whatever, that they will, like, think everything is a fucking work. That's the problem. And that's what it gets people. So I hope this is like a reminder now. Like, wrestlers need to calm down too. Where, like, they have to understand that who are workers, who are not. So I do hope this is an example for the future for pro wrestlers. But again, like, I do have to put a little fault on Syko Stu. I'm sorry, but Syko Stu. That is a little fault has to go to him, but he did not deserve the legit attempted murder. The big fault goes to, obviously, fucking Roger Jackson, because the guy clearly is not mentally fit to have been at that show, and the fact that he did what he did, obviously he deserves a fucking, the bullshit that's coming to him, because the fucking guy, but again, he had a choice. He did what he did for fucking views, and look what that got him. Almost attempted murder. Straight up. Because, he got a little pissy for getting a worked can onto your head. It was not even that serious. The guy tough, but again, the guy apologized still. But I blame the entire independent promotion itself. I blame that entire independent promotion for letting it happen, letting that guy there, and not stopping the guy. Where the fuck was security? So again, that goes to the fault of the independent promotion. The independent promotion allowed it to happen. Even though it was not scripted, they allowed this guy to still get in the ring. They were playing music, and look what happened. So Knokx X Pro Wrestling, you deserve your fucking fault. You are at fault for what happened. That cowboy guy deserves some bullshit. How dare you, fucking gave the idea. And Roger Jackson obviously deserved a major fault for committing a crime for views and subs. And I hate to see that a lot of these people, Black Twitter or whatever, they want to act like, the guy is innocent, because he did it first. He did it first. Like, I'm not trying to act like Syko Stu is innocent, completely innocent with this. But again, then you guys clearly don't know wrestling, You clearly don't know wrestling, but at the end of the day, obviously it shouldn't happen, but at the end of the day, too, this Roger Jackson had a choice. He did what he did. That's like fucking saying, hey, you should give him a receipt. It's no different than a guy get given money to commit a crime. Do a fucking, hitman job. That's basically what it basically similar to the reality. It was like a hitman job. And that's what Roger Jackson did. You committed a fucking crime. Attempted murder. Just because you were angry? And you did it for views. That's the main thing. He did it for fucking views. Well, look what happened. Now you lost your channel, and now you're going to lose your livelihood. I mean, unfortunately, livelihoods were lost here. Shout out to Mr. Beast, by the way, for wanting to help this Syko. This has gotten big to the point that the MMA community, not only the wrestling community is covering this, but even freaking a lot. This is getting trending. This is trending, by the way, folks. So that's my 2 cents, especially as an independent wrestler myself now. I want to give my 2 cents on this. I'll definitely talk about my journey as a wrestler so far soon. We'll talk about stuff. But anyways, that's my thoughts on this situation. Rampage Jackson, shame on you as a father. Roger Jackson, you deserve what you're going to get. And I hate to say it as a guy who's the same age as him, we gotta raise our young people properly, man. This is the fucking problem with this fucking world. And shame on the people making this about politics with the race. And, a lot of people want oh yeah, fuck the military guy. He's probably MAGA. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and fuck all you making this about politics. Y'all should be fucking shamed for making this about politics and all this type of shit. Fucking A. This is fucking disgusting. And fuck this fucking independent promotion. And and RVD, Rob Van Dam, for saying that this guy was in the right. Man, Rob Van Dam, get off the fucking weed and fuck you too. Even though respectfully, I love you, RVD, but man, you fucking dumb for this. Get off the fucking weed, man. All you people that smoke weed are fucking dumb as fuck, that's for sure. Till next time, peace, yeah, bye. And God bless the fucking Syko Stu guy. Hopefully he's okay. But again, he is a little bit at fault. But again, that's unfortunately independent wrestling for you. This is hopefully a message to the independent wrestling community. Hopefully this is a message to wrestling communities and wrestling promotions that, hey, not everything's a fucking work. This is a sad reality where we have to remember that this is unfortunately a independent wrestling issue where they can't just let guys or sons of celebrities in the promotion. And not only that, this is hopefully an eye-opener where, if you're a wrestler, not everything is a fucking work. So, that's what I have to say. But again, Roger Jackson clearly was in the wrong, too, because he did the bigger crime. He acted like basically a hitman for a supposed receipt. My ass. Now you're gonna fucking probably face jail time. Fucking A. All for fucking just views and subs. What a joke, man. What a fucking joke. Darn fucking shame, man. Till next time, peace, yeah, bye.